Welcome to another session together, and today is actually a four-part series that's called What to Do When Something, Anything, or Everything is Going Wrong. And if you have anything that's not working in your life in the way that you want it to, this series just might provide you with some of the steps, the very specific steps for you to take in order to be able to not just survive through it, but to really thrive through what you're experiencing. So here are a couple of the basic steps, the most foundational things that we need to do when something or anything or everything is going wrong in our lives. The first thing to do is to take a nice deep breath. And so if you're watching this right now and you have something going wrong in your life that you're trying to shift or change, take a nice deep breath right now. And that deep breath is a deep breath of compassion for yourself and for the situation, which is not self-pity. And we're going to be talking about the difference in a minute. But the reason why we want to start with a nice deep breath of compassion about the situation is that change happens easiest when it is built upon love. Love for ourselves, love for others, love for the situation at hand. So if we take a nice deep breath and say, you know what, I feel compassion towards myself as I am looking for the way to shift this, that is a much more effective strategy than a lot of the ways we usually try to push and create change from a place of fear and anger and other fear-based emotions. The second thing to do after we have compassion for ourselves and a great deep breath is to radically accept that this is the situation that we're in. So if you happen to notice that you yourself, when you have a repeating challenge or something that's going wrong in your life is happening, that what you respond to, what you reply with, how you react is, this is not supposed to happen, this is not the way it should be, this is not fair, or you put your head back in the sand, you get upset about it for a minute, and then you go back to doing things the way you normally do them, and you look away from the challenge that is before you, and you deny that it is occurring. Those are all very ineffective ways of actually creating a shift or change in life. And so instead, what we're going to do is build on that nice deep breath, that compassion, and now have radical acceptance that this is simply what is, and that is the most effective way to be able to go forward and make change, is to start from a place of saying, okay, this is what it is. This is my version of challenges on the planet. Everybody has their version. Everybody has their own stuff that's happening in their lives. This is mine. What am I going to do about mine? I'm going to radically accept that this exists. Take another nice deep breath. The third most foundational thing for you to do right in the beginning when something is going wrong is to not do that same old thing that you've done over and over and over again. What do I mean by that? When you've had this kind of challenge, or you've had things go wrong that are like this in the past, the same stuff that triggers you, or the same stuff that you keep hitting a wall on that's just not working in your favor, or something that just keeps jamming you up lately, you are likely to do the same thing, to handle it in the same way that you've done many, many times before. And I'm going to call that thing that you do. And that thing that you do might be to get really angry and stressed and project that stress out on other people around you. Or what you might do is be critical of other people and criticize them for why things aren't going right. Or what you might do is get really self-pitying. Why is this happening to me? How come things aren't better for me? Why am I in this situation? Life is not fair for me. Feeling maybe singled out, feeling victimized in some way, feeling badly for yourself. And you can really feel the difference in the energy between that and compassion. Those are so different. Compassion for the self versus victimhood and self-pity for the self, right? Do you judge yourself? And is that the thing that you do? And go into self-pity, guilt, and shame about who you are. Oh, if I were only different, if I could be a different person, if I had handled things differently, if I hadn't made those mistakes I made in the past, things wouldn't be this way. Do you go completely into denial and just bury your head about it and just choose not to do anything, or close off your heart, get guarded, shut down, and do nothing? Turn your ears off, close your heart to it, and just try to pretend that it doesn't exist. Those are just a couple of examples of that thing that you might do whenever these kinds of issues come up. And of course, what you've noticed is that style of coping, which may have helped you at some time in your life, is just not working this time. For instance, if you, every time a problem crosses your path, you try to micromanage it terribly and control every single piece as your way of coping with that type of issue or that kind of problem, today is the day to not do that thing you do. And instead, we're going to take a nice deep breath again and say, well, what are my other options? If I don't handle it the way I've done it all these years, and I keep doing it the same way, if I didn't do it that way, how would I do it? And that's what's going to be on the next video. So I look forward to you watching the next one. Thank you for all your questions, comments, and inquiries.